Hey everybody, welcome back to the Working Man's Whiskey. I'm Bobby. Guys, today's review I'd like to do is Basil Hayden's Dark Rye. And guys, I actually posted this video over the weekend. Did a review already, but Carl caught something. Carl H, if you're out there, thank you for the catch. Carl saw that I had posted that video with some wrong information, actually. I had thought that this was Basil Hayden bourbon or rye finished with in port wine barrels. What this is, guys, is it's Basil Hayden's mixed with Canadian rye, and it's finished with port, but not in port barrels. They add the port after the fact. So, a little bit different than what I thought it was. You know, just had some wrong information. So thank you, Carl, for catching that. Want to make sure I get the right information on here for my videos. So thanks again, Carl. This is Basil Hayden's Dark Rye, though, guys. We know that Basil Hayden's is part of the Jim Beam line. And this is a branch of the Basil Hayden's line from Jim Beam, and it's the first permanent release off of the Basil Hayden brand of whiskey. So Basil Hayden, pretty well known name, guys. You know, he's the old man that you see on the old granddad bottles, and you know, his son, or actually his grandson, Raymond, created Old Granddad in Basil's memory, using Basil's, one of his old bourbon recipes, which was high rye. Basil Hayden loved his rye. So kind of fitting that we have the dark rye here. This is a bit different, though. As I mentioned, this is it's rye whiskey. It's Basil Hayden's. It's Canadian rye and California port. They, after the aging process and all that, they add some port wine to the whiskey, and just gives you something a little bit different, guys. You can see how dark that is right there. And I like port. I like wine from Sonoma County in California. But wine kind of takes a back seat, you know, to a few things. You know, wine probably takes a back seat to whiskey, obviously, but beer, not just craft beer, but you know, domestics. You know, I drink all kinds of beer, guys. I mean, California is known for wine and craft beer as far as the alcohol goes, but I'm a through and through whiskey guy, so you know, port is good, though. I really like port. I like red wines more than I like white wines. So yeah, the darker wines are kind of more my taste. And I've had this, as you can see. I've gotten into this bottle a little bit, and tell you what I think about it, guys, because I think it's a pretty cool idea. You know, a lot of these whiskey companies, you know, big named whiskey companies, are doing a lot of these flavored whiskeys now. You name it, honey whiskey, adding apple and cherry and all kinds of different flavors. And you know, I get a little worn out on that, because a lot of those whiskeys they usually drop them down to about 35% ABV, 70 proof, which to me it becomes a different spirit than whiskey. But I love new ideas like this, guys. You know, finishing something with port, or you know, aging something in a barrel from another kind of alcohol. You know, I've had several different whiskeys that were finished in, you know, stout barrels, IPA barrels, and you know, I think it's a cool idea when you when you kind of intertwine whiskey with a different kind of booze. Gives a different flavor, but it's still, this is still 80% or 80%, geez, 80 proof, 40% ABV. So it doesn't really take anything away from the spirit. It just kind of adds to the spirit in a different way. Yeah, that's, I'll read you the back of this bottle real quick, guys. It says, this artful blend of Kentucky straight rye whiskey, Canadian rye whiskey, and a touch of port creates a rich amber pour with ruby undertones. Bottled at a smooth 80 proof, this dark, rich expression offers the subtlest of fruit sweetness to complement the traditional rye spice. The result is Basil Hayden's dark rye, an approachable and wholly inspired experience to enjoy any way you like. So, yeah, that's about it, guys. I don't have much more information on this one. I know it's their newest release. Do want to tell you that I was trying to find this one to to get a review on here. I've been looking for a while. Bevmo had this same whiskey here for about $60 a bottle. It was like $59.99, and I had to pass it up, guys. I mean, Basil Hayden's is great. I love Basil Hayden's. I love anything from from the Jim Beam line, especially the small batch line that they have. Basil Hayden's, Baker's, Booker's, Knob Creek. I love them all, guys. But I wasn't about to pay $60. So I went to the bottle barn, saw this same bottle, and it was $29.99, guys. I think I left the tag on there. $29.99. So couldn't pass it up at that price point. Had to try it out. So here we are. Obviously, it's pretty dark, guys. It's really, really dark. A dark amber. That port in there. Definitely going to darken things up a bit. So let's take a nose. And on the nose, guys, you get a good hit of that port. It's got that port wine nose to it for sure. A little bit of rye. But that port is definitely the most significant note that I'm getting on the nose. So let's try it out. All right. So on the palate is much, much different than the nose. You get a little bit of the port on the palate, but when I was nosing this, guys, you think it's going to be more wine than whiskey. That's the nose that I get from this. But totally changes on the palate. You do get a little bit of that port, but that rye whiskey comes through pretty good. Some good spice. Just that classic rye taste that you get from the Basil Hayden whiskeys. It's a Basil Hayden's rye. This is made with Basil Hayden's rye, but even the Basil Hayden's bourbon and Old Granddad, connected, of course, are high rye mash bills. So you get that classic Basil Hayden high rye though, definitely on the palate there. Some berries for sure. It's got a berry fruitiness about it. Just definitely dark fruit. And something else in there, guys. You get a little bit of like an almondy, almost amaretto type note to it. It's sweet, but not over the top. Very good. a very good whiskey here. Very unique, something new to try. Definitely recommend that you guys try this. I will tell you that I probably do prefer the regular Basil Hayden release from Jim Beam to this one. I like what they did here as far as trying something new, but the original Basil Hayden's is good stuff. Really good stuff. This is good stuff, but not as good as the original in my opinion. So I would still rate this out. I'd probably give Basil Hayden's original a score in the high 80s, guys. This one's still right behind it. It's not far behind it. I would rate this out somewhere around an 86 or 87. I think that's probably a pretty fair score. And I definitely recommend you find this, try it out. If you don't want to get a bottle, try some, and you might want a bottle, guys. It's pretty good stuff. And something different just to change it up for you a little bit. So that's it for this one, guys. A couple little announcements. So I have about 4 whiskeys kind of on the horizon, I guess, for future reviews. I have a bourbon that you guys have probably all heard of. I have a bottled and bond whiskey that's a little bit different than other bottled and bond whiskeys that we've tried on here before. I also have a blended Scotch whiskey, and I have a single malt whiskey, so Scotch whiskey. So looking forward to trying all those out, guys. Another little kind of side note here. I'm thinking about expanding a little bit as far as my reviews. This channel here is gonna stay the way it is. This is my my whiskey channel. The Working Man's Whiskey ain't going anywhere. But thought about maybe creating a second channel. Let me know what you guys think. I love other kinds of booze as well, guys. I mean, I love beer, as I said, both it's your domestics, your craft beers, anything. I love rum. Wine is good. I do have a taste for wine, but it's got to be the right occasion for it. So just about any kind of whiskey. I'm not a big or any kind of booze. I'm not really a big vodka guy. Tequila once in a great while. But anyway, I'd like to maybe create a second channel to review some of these other kinds of alcohol. And want to know what you guys think. If you guys might just prefer this channel here, or if you're open to that idea. So let me know. Look forward to talking to y'all soon. Have a great week, guys. Hopefully it's not too crazy. And that's it for now. Till next time, cheers.